Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Emma, and for this vlog, I'm going to be giving you a quick tutorial on how to draw Markiplier. So, right now, I'm here, I have my sketchbook, I have a pencil and eraser, and I have, the picture I'm going to be drawing up on the computer, which I'm not good at drawing photos, so we're not going to do that. So I just found some fan art that I really liked online. It doesn't say who the original, artist is, but this is the picture because I can't show you my monitor. This is the picture I'm going to be attempting to draw, and hopefully I'll be able to walk you guys through it, see how this goes. This seemed like a pretty good idea for a vlog, so I thought, hey, why not? Let's just do this. So first thing for Mark is you're going to have to draw the head shape, and Mark has a pretty oval-ish head, I guess. So you're going to start by kind of drawing an oval. And it can be as sketchy or as detailed and like just one single line if you want it. But I'm just sketching this. So you're going to start off kind of with a shape. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Like that for his head shape. And he has a pretty angled jawline. It kind of goes down at like a 45-degree angle. So we're just going to draw that in, maybe a little bit darker than the original head shape. And then his jaw kind of curves there, goes up, and then comes to a point where his chin forms, which is going to start to look something like that. And then his face kind of comes out to where his cheeks are. Comes back in, swerves out again, and goes up into the rest of his head. And that's just what I'm going to call his head for right now. I did draw that a bit big. And that's your initial face shape. So next, which is what I find to be the easiest part, is we're going to work on the hair. Because if you just draw the head and you're not going to draw the hair on it, like, he will start to look like an alien, and then he's going to start to look really weird. And then you're going to be second-guessing yourself, and it's going to become a problem because you're sitting there looking at his drawing, wondering what went wrong. So his hair, we got to draw the floof. I mean, you can't mess up on the floof for Mark. So it's kind of, the lowest point is in the middle of the forehead with that little curl that he has going on, which is this part right here. Yeah, right there. That's the lowest part. And the rest of his hair kind of makes an N shape. It goes up and then down. So you can start by kind of just drawing in an M on his head. Maybe a bit more of a curvy, not like jagged, but like give it some motion to it. Draw that in there. This is probably going to turn out horrible because I'm trying to actually draw it for something and not just for fun, because that usually ends up happening. Like if I have to do things for like an art class, or if I'm drawing them to like present, like I had to do a poster for history, and usually I'm really good at lettering. Like I love to do lettering. And then I had to do this poster on the Oregon Trail, and it was just so horrendous. Like, the lines were shaky. It was gross. It was just disgusting. So you're gonna have your M shape, which is right along here. And then you kind of have to start adding in the hair detail that goes around the forehead. So up where he has his little, this part right here, I don't know exactly what you call that. He has this hair sticking out, and then in the middle of his forehead, he has the curl. And then we'll get to sideburns and the rest of it after. So you're gonna kind of start to draw in the shape of the hair, which it comes out before curving back in, creating the sideburn that he has. So you're gonna do that. And then his hair curves down here, And in the middle of that, you have that piece of hair right there. And then you get to the piece in the forehead, which comes down right around here. And this is all going to get colored in black, so you don't need to worry about extra lines, because they're all just going to disappear. So then you're going to start to have the hair coming out on the forehead. And then after that, it just kind of comes up like that, and then curves back down. And then for his sideburn, it comes out right here, right on his head right there. And it's going to make kind of a shallow crescent shape. So it's going to go like this. I went a bit too low. And then it's going to round out right there. Hopefully you can see that. Yes, you can. So that's there, and that has a line going up. That's a bit more pointed, actually. The whole struggle with his hair is it's like there's parts, it's like it's pointed, but it's still kind of rounded, so it's hard to get that exact shape. So that goes up like that, and then this comes down, which is also part of the sideburn, and then that's going to curve up past his ear. So that's kind of the shape that you should have gotten for his sideburns. Then his ear sticks out from his head. Mark has pretty big ears, actually, believe it or not. So we're going to just draw in. I usually like to draw in ovals and then kind of refine them out later. Because, I mean, ears are pretty oval shaped if you look at them. Except they have this weird little indent down here at this bottom thing. So you're going to draw in an oval and then refine up the edges. Give it that little weird doodad on the bottom. I don't even know exactly what you call that. And then for the detailing in the ears, you're just going to draw this line that comes up here. And you're going to draw in this big, like, circle part. And that is going to look not like that, because that's wrong. That is going to look something like this. And that's how you kind of get in the ear. Now also in the picture around his ear, I don't know if this detail is going to come out on the camera on my phone, but right around here, there's some breaks in the hair that are kind of like the ones down here. So you got to draw those in. So there's going to be some hair breaks right along the ear, like that, and then there's one high up. And then that's majority of the detail for the hair that's going to go around the face. And then the rest of it, it's pretty simple from there out because his hair has a lot of movement. So it's just kind of waves, and then it'll come up, and there'll be a break, and then it'll just wave again, break a little bit, and then wave again, and then that's kind of the rest of his hair. So you start from diagonal on the head, and then you're just going to make a swoop. That comes off into a hair break that's at a point, rounded point like the rest of his hair. And then you're going to come off into another swoop that's going to come off and it's going to be rounded. And that's going to go into the rest of his hair a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And then it's going to be a curve that comes down and comes out right at the face. That's close enough. I made it a bit too small and a bit too far away from the face, but that's fine. So after you finish drawing in your hair details, see if I can just fix that up. It's going to look a little bit like that. And then you can add in some stray hair kind of coming out if you want. I like to do that a lot because it shows a bit more realism to a person. So after that, to finish off the hair, he has these two floofy things back here that are just kind of like almost teardrop shaped, but a little bit more narrow. So you gotta draw those in. And he has two of them coming out of the back of his head. And those are going to look something like that. And then his hair kind of comes out into a wavy floof again in the back, but not as dramatic. Curves in there and comes out and breaks just above his ear. And that's going to look something like this. And at this point, I still have the guidelines for the head in. If those distract you, if you just don't want them there, you can erase those. So I'm just going to erase those right now. Erase those, so those aren't visible. And also the ones that came out, my original guidelines for the head were. And then I'm going to finish off his hair by curving out before going back into the ear and then drawing his little neck floof. You can even put in some guidelines for the neck. Now, this is the point where I realized that I actually made his face too fat, which does happen a lot with me. I tend to over-exaggerate the face. Oh, and the finished hair is going to kind of look like that. I'm going to have to fix a little bit to fit the head, because I am going to make that... Ooh, let's not knock over my camera. I am going to have to make that a bit thinner, because we don't want to make Mark look like the chubby baby that he actually is. So this kind of comes more straight up and is narrowed. Does that sort of thing. And I'm going to fix that part. Which kind of is going to come down more like this now that I've narrowed out his face. And it's going to look more thinned out towards this side over here. Because I realized that like his face was like this wide, but I accidentally made it like this wide, which is kind of a big difference. So I want to fix that a little bit. Now comes the hard part. Now I have to start drawing in the face. And usually I draw in eyebrows, nose, mouth, eyes, and then he has glasses on, so I'm going to draw the glasses in last, because the eyes and the glasses are usually what mess me up. I have a really hard time with eyes. I can never get them the same shape. I can never get them the same size. Which I think is a struggle for most people that, like, take any form of art where you have to like draw or sculpt faces or paint faces. It's like just you have one eye that's normal size and the other one looks like you're tripping acid. It's it's kind of a problem. So I'm gonna start by drawing in Mark's eyebrows and actually bringing down his hairline a little bit to make more of a dramatic curve. Because it's showing too much of his forehead. So I just brought it down maybe half an inch, not a lot. And then he's kind of looking off at an angle. He's looking off in this direction. So this eyebrow is right in the middle of that curve in his hair. So you're gonna start that relatively close to the curl. Not that close. And then eyebrow shapes are usually rectangles with offset triangles on them. Just a bit too much of a dramatic curve. So if you draw a rectangle and then you put a triangle coming off at an angle, that's usually the right shape for eyebrows. Of course, everybody's eyebrows are different. They curve. Some are thicker than others. Some don't like to be drawn, apparently. So I figured out drawing a lot. So there's the first one. And then the second one's a bit easier because that one kind of fades off into the side of his face. So that one starts also relatively close to the little curl. And that one comes down a lot farther. Like that. I don't know if you can actually see my lines. You kind of can. My lines are really light. And then it kind of does a very deep curve. Like this. And it also curves on the top. And I'm just going to fill that in so you can actually see where that is. And I made it a bit too thick towards the edge of his face because it actually gets smaller as it goes out towards the side of his face. Something looked very off about that. Oh, that's why. It's supposed to be angled. And this is supposed to be shorter. So there's your other eyebrow. Next up is the nose. I usually draw the nose first just so I can get the placement of the mouth because usually if you draw the mouth it's either too far into the face or too far off to the side and then the nose just looks weird. His nose is off-centered to the left on his face. And his is relatively simple. It's just kind of a line that goes down. Pretty long line, actually. And then apologies for the phone ringing in my house. But the initial shape for Mark's nose is going to look something like that. And then he has kind of a triangle going down to make one nostril. And the other one's a bit of a teardrop. My tip is to not color in the nostrils because it'll kind of make the person that you're drawing look like they have a pig nose. So if you do, that nose is awful, but if you do shade in nostrils, don't draw them in black. Like, put them really light in pencil, and then the more you color in, the more you can darken them, and you can decide, because if you make them too dark, you won't be able to erase, and then it falls apart. So, come on, computer, don't sleep. You have work to do. The mouth is also relatively simple. He kind of has a signature Markiplier smirk going on. Not really a smirk, but you know, this little side smile that he does. It's really cute. Which is going to end up coming out something like that. And now for the hard part. Now the part that I usually can't do. Draw eyes. So, I'm probably going to fail at this. If you were really good at drawing eyes, let me know in the comments. Tell me your secrets. I need to know all of your secrets if you can draw eyes. So, it looks like his eye on this side fades into his nose. So you're going to kind of curve that part of his nose. It's going to fade into his eyelid, which is kind of crescent shaped. Going to make him look like he has really emo eyeliner. He's going to be Pete Wentz on the inside. Let's try not to make him look like Pete Wentz, because I don't think Mark could really pull off guyliner. And then the line that kind of comes off the bottom is relatively straight. And then his eye kind of like goes like this. And then his iris and his pupil are kind of fused, but they kind of make a half oval shape. And then the upper half is black. He also has that little line above his eye to actually indicate that he has eyelids. And then there is one eye of Markiplier done. The next eye, it's more triangular. So it kind of goes here. It starts a little bit farther out than the eyebrow. And then it goes up and rounds down. And then the bottom is also relatively straight. This needs to be less exaggerated. But not that unexaggerated, because that looks weird. And then you're also going to draw in the kind of half circle pupil, which doesn't quite go down to the bottom of his eye, but it's close. He also has a little bit of a shine in this one, which is in the shape of a triangle. That actually didn't come out too bad. That could have been a lot worse. So that's kind of the mark we have going on right now. His eyes are a little bit uneven, but that's okay. And for the final part, we have to draw in his beard, which actually I'm just going to do that right now. Kind of fix up his jawline because it needs to be a bit more curved. And then this depicts his line as just a bunch of lines. Thinking back to it now, I remember when Mark used to be like really like baby-faced. Like he was always like clean shaven, and he had the floof and the glasses, and he was just he was a small bean. And he was just so cute, and it's like, damn, what happened? Not that he's not cute now, I still love Mark to death, don't get me wrong. But it's like, he grew up. Oh no, he's becoming an adult. Not really, I mean, the last reading your comments video, he kind of ran into a pool with a table. I don't think he's becoming an adult anytime soon. So, that is a really long neck you got going on there, Mark. Let's kind of try and fix that. So with the beard, it's going to start to look like that. And then the last part are his glasses, which there is a metal wire that curves across his nose. And then little half boxes to indicate the rims of his glasses, if I can actually talk. That'd be great. Those are too far down from his eyeball. So we gotta move it up a little bit to like right there. I'm really bad at drawing glasses. And then I'm going to draw in just a faint line to indicate where the glass actually stops, because that's just me. But then the glasses are really off. But once you color in the hair a little bit, and actually maybe put some shading on it, which I'll have to do later, and I'll post a picture of it on Instagram. If you're not following my Instagram, it's going to be in the description. So is my Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, you know, all that good stuff down there if you just want to go check that out. That'd be great. For half hour, kind of looks like Mark. So that's all I'm going to do for you guys. If you want me to do anything, because I literally have no idea what to do for vlogs, because I kind of don't feel like you guys want me sitting here talking the entire time. So if you guys have any ideas, put them in the comments. You can message me over social media. I'm always happy to get DMs on Twitter and Instagram, or just any messages in general. It's great to hear from you guys. And like I said, all my links for my social media will be down in the description box below. Please click the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel. We are 23 subscribers strong, and that is great. I love all of you, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video.